Hey guys, welcome back to episode 3 of Wisdumb. We got our good friends here. We got Nickelodeon, CosmicFlame, Desaya, and Fumbleblockers McFlute. And as sometimes but always, it's me, Bracus Zahn.
We are words of
We-
wisdom, not wisdom.
Yeah.
But
Look,
you
man,
might
I'm
wisdom.
only here like every other episode, okay? You can't expect me to remember the name.
that's fair. Episode 3.
You're supposed to remember the name though. That's your job.
Eli, I hate to have to break it to you, but I once forgot your name.
Yeah,
this is like
I forgot
as we
my
have
own
been
name
friends.
too.
This is like as we had been friends for like 2 years at that point.
We can talk about
That he
that.
forgot it for
That's-
3 months and waited for
That-
someone to say your name.
This was before I had your phone in a contact, so I had no way of actually checking.
Saying this was not 2 years.
No, it was
This
a lot
was
longer
like-
than that.
This was like, by the way, like less than a year ago.
No, if it was less than a year ago, I would have just checked his name on my phone.
No,
That's what we
No.
thought, but you forgot
what-
you had it.
you told me. Zane, you told me
I-
this on vacation.
Did I?
Vacation.
Yes.
Vacation was not even. It was like half a year ago.
Yeah, there's more holes in my memory than I thought.
Well, how long have you all known each other?
A lot longer than 6 months.
Well, I know. I've known
How
you
How long
guys
guys
have
for
I
known
known
6
Eli?
Hold
Since
on.
5th
shoot.
grade.
That is way
No,
longer
no,
than
Eli,
6
it
months,
was
my guy.
It was 4th grade, Eli.
No, I wasn't here.
fourth
I wasn't. I
grade?
wasn't. I wasn't there in 4th grade.
Oh no, no, it was 5th grade. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
I
got my
feel like
years.
Eli. I feel like Eli would know when he went. To the
Yeah,
school.
I would know
No, it
when
wouldn't.
I joined.
I
this
know,
group.
I know more about Eli than Eli knows about himself.
Oh yes, of course.
His
My
I've
memory.
known
mind,
Zain.
my mind is boggled now
I've-
from
I've
how
known-
many memories I'm now having to sift through.
I've known Zane for, let's see,
It was
13.
it was preschool because I got held back
No.
from 1st grade.
It was kindergarten.
Was it?
Zane,
No, yeah, kindergarten. No, that's
I
the one.
had-
That's the
I-
one before 1st grade. That's
Right,
right.
I-
Kindergarten. I
I'm
mean,
telling you, man, you should have gotten the 2 terabyte upgrade to the brain.
and I wish. Also, I
It
think
came
2
with
terabytes in the
pre-installed
brain is
stuff.
like really small.
It
Not gonna
is,
lie.
You know,
Yeah,
Zane,
for brain functions. I mean,
I
maybe,
don't even think that like covers the system cost.
I don't think that even. I don't think that would even be like working as RAM.
He'd be a veteran.
Oh yeah, I legitimately like. I think 2 terabytes would just be like absolutely
No,
terrible.
it's 2 terabytes on what he already has, so you know it's.
I still don't think that'd be good. I mean, think about like how high quality your memories are. Could you imagine only having 2 terabytes?
That
Oh,
would
it's
be.
an extra 2 terabytes on top of what you have already.
I still don't think that's a lot. That's basically like giving a phone an extra gigabyte. It's not really going to do a lot,
Oh, but it would help you a bit.
I suppose.
Every little bit
Listen, what are we
counts.
doing?
I was just grabbing supplies.
I
That's
really
not
can't
what I
even like hold a candle to that because out of everyone here, the person I've known for the longest is Zain, and it's only been like what 5 years.
It's definitely not been.
It's
Wait,
been
it
about
has been
5
5
years.
years?
Yeah, it's been 5 years.
No,
No,
it might
because I
have been-
didn't. I
How
didn't
old-
talk to you before
Well, how-
2018 because I was moved into this house before.
So it's been
I
4
meant-
years.
4 years.
It's 4 years.
Okay, 4 or 5
Yeah.
years, something like that.
Because I know that I wasn't. I know that we weren't friends in 2018 because that was when I started to move into the house I currently live in.
I see. Okay. Wait, where'd you live before? If that's not doxing. I guess it's not. Just where'd you live before?
I lived in the same town. Well, I guess not technically the same town. I lived in the town over from here, but semantics.
All right.
Uh,
You were
yeah,
still.
I didn't live too
Samantha?
far away from here.
Who's Samantha? That is a good question, actually.
Not Samantha, semantics.
Oh. Well, don't I feel stupid? We were gonna
Nah,
have
you shouldn't.
we were gonna have Samantha on for a couple podcasts now, but she just couldn't make it.
Ah,
We're still gonna
darn.
have her on at some point, and I want her and Zain to be on the same episode because that'd be hilarious.
Wait, why?
Because
wait.
she's the person who
That-
found out you were a brony within 20 minutes
Yes.
of meeting you.
No, how the frick she did
I
it?
don't know how either. She.
You radiate brony energy.
That's what
does.
she
He really
said.
does.
She literally came up and said, "Is your friend a brony?" He kind of gives off brony.
What's
vibes.
funny is I hadn't even watched the show for like a very long time at that point, but I still had because think Nick knows about this, but my girlfriend at one point drew images
Yeah, drew me and Zain as
Oh man.
He also drew
My Little
me and
Pony.
Sawyer too.
Oh really?
Yeah, I need to. I have my old phone with all the pictures on it, but the battery doesn't work. I need to get it fixed so I can transfer those photos over.
I think
You
I
don't.
have my old
No,
phone
you
with those
don't.
photos.
Yes, I
God,
do.
dude, I was like, your girlfriend draws you like that, and then
Those were
like years later, I brought it up to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't ask her to do that."
No,
And then I brought it up to you guys, and then
I did not
we
ask
started-
her. It just kind of happened.
It's
and
an
then
art
we started
form.
making fun of him. So
Yeah.
things happen.
Anyways, first topic of the night. I'll throw one into the pot of topics.
Okay.
Time travel. I want to
No.
hear everybody's
Yeah, of
personal
course.
I
views on
You're
time
refuse to
travel.
talk about time travel.
Okay.
Aw.
This will not be.
Tristen,
This will not be a short episode if
Look,
it is
look,
about time
I
travel.
don't want to start fights about it. I just want to hear people's opinions on it.
I like the idea, but in practicality, it's a bad idea in every single way.
Okay, that's Jackson out of the way since he did not want to divulge much information.
That is the
How do you
most I
guys
will
feel
say
about
about
it?
it.
Wait, what did Jackson say about time travel?
I said I like it in concept, but if you perform it, it's bad. Don't do it.
No, yeah. The way I see it is the day that if time travel is possible, the day that we find out that it's possible is the day that everyone dies.
Yeah. Because it's just one thing. You change one thing or do one thing wrong, you are causing way more problems than time travel is worth.
We've talked about this outside of the podcast before, but I've mentioned that I'm very much if time travel is a thing, you can't really change time itself because
No, yeah.
when you look back at history, all of history has already happened. So if you go back in time to history, you're no longer changing history, you're just a part of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
what if you kill George Washington?
Well, obviously you didn't because George Washington is still alive. Well,
No.
actually, hold on. No, wait.
George Washington
Go
is
on!
alive.
I'm listening!
Wait.
Obviously, you didn't manage to kill George Washington because we have history of him being alive, or you just killed him and that was the end of his life as we knew him.
Well, no. What if you killed him before he did anything? Then history rewrites itself. Because you can't
Obviously
just.
didn't.
The way that I've seen it go
Didn't.
go down in media, or like specifically in like books that I've read, is like no matter what you do, your actions like back in the past will either cause the things that happened or will have no effect.
So
Yeah,
either
see,
something does or it
that's-
doesn't happen. That's so that's what you would expect from time travel.
Oh yeah.
No, you're missing the point. What he's saying is you either cause the future or what you do doesn't change anything about the future.
Yeah, so
basically,
either
no
something
matter what
does
you
or
do, you
doesn't
change
happen.
nothing. Well, you know what? Fair point. You've got
Yeah,
me there.
that's kind of how living works.
I
though.
know, yeah.
It's not. That's kind of what you call a Boolean function. It's either
Boolean
yes or no.
Okay. Well, I guess that's.
What about you two?
I guess-
Tristen and Nick, who are currently on the seas.
My idea of time travel, I don't know. So either we've invented it in the future and we can only go forwards, or it's just never going to exist, or the only form of time travel that can exist is a window. Like you can create a window to look in, but you can't interact or do anything with it. And realistically.
Now, see, I feel like
So,
that's a good
funnily-
answer.
Funnily
That
enough,
is-
you mentioned only being able to go forward in time, and I had this idea a while back that I'm unable to convey into any physical form. But imagine if you would that like the past has already happened, so nothing's going to change. But imagine going to the future and just everything's constantly changing because the past has not been written for it yet. It's like you're just standing there and everything's just like flashing colors where everything's changing instantly as buildings grow taller, bigger, or just disappear completely. The person walking down the street turns into 70 different people while eating 40 different foods. Just the infinite possibilities all colliding into a massive
And
mound of shapes.
that
But you
sounds
said
like
you didn't believe in alternate timelines, though.
Well,
That
you're
al-
backing me into a corner here where I have
That's-
trouble explaining things.
that sounds exactly
Uh,
like what I imagine someone
alright.
on a seizure sees.
Yeah, see,
On a
that's
seizure.
what I
On a
imagine going to the
seizure.
future
On a
would be
seizure.
like.
On a seizure,
Yep.
like they ride it, ride off into the sunset.
It's like
Is that how that works?
it's like medicine, bro.
Mm.
So he rode his seizure into the sunset.
I feel like at that point it's more like a drug. You know what
Maybe, yeah. I mean, that'd probably make more sense.
I mean?
Nick, I'll have to admit, I do believe in alternate timelines, but I have trouble with it because I don't know when you start discerning an alternate dimension from an alternate timeline. Like, what's the difference between the two?
Or
When do
realism.
you draw the line?
I don't see people with 40 eyes in another timeline. I see those in another dimension.
True. But I also think that, like, if you look more towards Marvel on the dimension scale, same concept, same type of world, uh, progression either happened quicker or slower or the same pace, but it's with different beings or different forms of the same beings, or like looking at Doctor Strange being able to see every possible outcome, but there also being different versions of Doctor Strange, uh, like in the new movie where he has forms that cause him to be third eye or like weird, whatever. Like that would be an alternate dimension version of yourself, but like an alternate timeline stems from the same timeline that you exist in, but it's a different outcome made by a could be a minor choice depending on if you believe in that, or if it's like major world changing choices, like if the soldier decided to actually kill Hitler, the Holocaust never happened, like something like that, branching off into another timeline. That's how I discern it. An alternate dimension, Adolf Hitler may have never been born in the first place.
Interesting.
Or maybe Hitler was born, but
He was Jewish.
but he was,
Exactly. That's how that works.
was actually born in Japan.
Yes.
Well, we're gonna shift gears real quick, and we talked about this right before we started recording. What is a conspiracy that you full-heartedly believe in?
Well, funny story. So as we were finishing up yesterday's stream, Eli and I were working on my D&D character, and we found an article where a former CIA agent claims that there is extraterrestrial life in Area 51.
Hmm.
And I'm not saying I believe in it, I'm just saying I think that's a starting topic right there. Because
Okay. I won't lie. Me and oh gosh, I can't believe I have to talk about this. So me and a family friend got into a conversation about this because he asked me what I thought was in Area 51, and I honestly think that the only thing inside Area 51 at this point is just documents, and not even
Area
important ones. 'Cause
51 and
Yeah.
a family friend. Is this who I think it is?
no, this is not who you think it is. This is a person that
Really?
you've never met or interacted
Wow.
you're
with.
gonna keep their identity secret.
Well, no, I just don't remember their name.
The 51. This is
Look,
an
we've talked about this
interesting-
before. Okay, my memory's shot full of holes.
Alright.
But anyway, so we were talking about. I said, but with how popular Area 51 is, the idea of keeping anything important there would just be thrown out the window. 'Cause, like, think about all the areas we don't know about, and then why would you put anything important in the one that everyone knows about?
Yeah, I think, if anything, Area 51 is literally just a military test zone.
Exactly. Do I think there's aliens that are being held by the government? Yes, absolutely. Do I think they're in Area 51? No, not at all.
It's like a whole nother conspiracy because you just said you believe aliens are in Area 51, but that also insinuates you believe aliens are real. What's your backing for that?
Well, he was saying he believes in aliens, he just doesn't think that they're in Area 51. He thinks that they're
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Well, I know, but like, you want to
What's
talk
my
about
backing for believing in
conspiracies.
aliens?
Yeah, they're like that's like way more
Well,
major than Area
My
51.
basis for believing in aliens is the massive universe in which we live. And also a whole bunch of minor things that have happened.
Okay, but why
Here's-
would God
Aliens
make
are
another?
just space traveling time travelers from the future.
Here's just my thing with extraterrestrial life. Kind of going off of what Eli said, they wouldn't like. How intelligent would they have to be, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not here to speculate how intelligent they are. I'm here to speculate whether or not they exist.
More
And-
intelligent than us if they've managed to make it here.
Yeah, and if they did make it here, how and why? Because I
don't know
feel like it's been a
Same
long
reason.
time.
Same reason. Same reason we want to explore the universe. Curiosity.
I don't know. Do they
I
have to
mean,
be more
mayhaps.
intelligent or just more blessed with a different material? Because, like, what if they're on a planet with an entirely new element that we don't know about that just makes it, like, abundantly easy to get off a planet?
I mean, maybe, but you also have
What
to consider
if our
lifespan.
idea of math is skewed?
Exactly.
What if-
Have you guys
That would
heard
make
of
them
the
more intelligent.
Have you guys heard of the missing number theory? The idea that a missing number could completely destroy all of math.
I mean, I haven't heard of it, but it makes sense.
Well, good, because it doesn't exist. I just made it up off the top of my head.
Okay.
I don't believe that. You're not intelligent enough for that.
Ow! That hurt.
He didn't disagree.
I believe
you're not
I believe you. You're too
Busy.
stupid
Ow.
to lie. That's
I mean,
funny.
you're not wrong, but ouch. That still kind of hurt.
If you disagree with me, you would have disagreed. But you didn't. So
No, I
think I'm
didn't. You're right. I have stolen the idea from an SCP, because there is an
See?
SCP out. Hold on. There's an SCP out there that is marginally different from what I specified, but it's the idea that they have an entire mathematical theorem that proves that there is a missing number. But when you write the mathematical theorem on anything, because our entire physical world is made up of pre-chosen theorems, that because this new one has been made without, why is my brain suddenly just dying and I'm unable to
That's
form
just
sentences?
That almost sounds like the reality theory. Like we live in a
But-
simulation, and there's
Help.
people
Help.
watching us.
Go
That's
on.
exactly what that
Bitchy.
sounds like.
Basically, if they write it
Calm
on
out.
anything, the thing basically just falls apart and turns to nothingness because it just breaks everything about the item and pushes it away and destroys it.
Can you imagine
I
how
don't know, it's-
scary this
SCP
world would
is
be?
awesome.
Yeah, can you imagine how scary this world would be if SCP was real?
How do you know they're not real?
I feel like with
Isn't
something.
that the whole point of like the story as a whole, that nobody other than the Foundation knows that
Jackson,
exists?
Well,
what if
Here's the thing.
what if the whole point about it being created by people is a cover up for it actually existing? Therefore, because we think it doesn't exist, it does exist.
Because
It'd be the
it's an
perfect cover-up
open
to just give you
source.
all the
People can
information.
add their own SCPs if they want. It's not like
Obviously, you've never tried to make an SCP. It's
I
not that simple.
Literally have.
Yeah, you can't just like make your own SCP. It has to get moderation
I mean,
approval.
it's got to get moderation approval. But what are the chances that over 6,000 people now have made an SCP description that perfectly describes something on site?
What? Okay.
Not
here's
to mention
another-
that some of the SCPs are stupid. Like Cain
if-
and Abel
So
from the
many.
biblical age. You're telling me
So many of them.
one
are
of them
stupid.
was murdered, and you're expecting me to believe they're both alive to this day?
Jackson, what if we live in the good timeline? Like where the Foundation won to a point where it no longer needs to exist. What if this is the good timeline?
And I'd hate to see the bad one, because
Yeah,
obviously
what's
this
the
one
bad
didn't turn
one?
out too well.
New conspiracy: COVID-19 is an SCP.
I believe it.
New
if?
conspiracy: COVID was a biological weapon gone wrong.
That is one that is
Oh,
Oh
very.
wait, that's not new.
What do you guys think? I kind of think it was, like, it has to have been like, lab made.
I think it was lab made, and I do think it was released on accident.
What bothers me is
Probably.
there's certain viruses that are being made that are just deadlier versions of COVID, and that's fine, maybe not.
Fine.
But we
That's
keep making
fine.
deadlier viruses.
fine.
For what reason do we need to make deadlier viruses in labs?
Warfare.
Technically, our medicine does that anyway, so it's kind of already happening whether we do it or not. I mean, have you guys never heard of super viruses? Those viruses that are made naturally because our medicine is so good that anything that survives it just becomes so much stronger. immediately.
Give me an example of a super virus.
The good news is we have ways of counteracting super viruses by basically just saying, hey, we noticed that you survived a bullet, but luckily your bulletproof shield is no match for my shield-proof knife. And then it's like, oh, well, your knife-proof shield is no match for my shield-proof bullets. And it's just kind of like a running war that runs back and forth.
That's silly.
Oh,
So
it
we
is
find
absolutely
some-
hilarious.
What I also find interesting is how viruses adapt to survive longer in the human body by making themselves less deadly over time.
Mm-hmm. Or just another similar thing, how some parasites are more dangerous dead inside your body than they are alive. Yeah, I had to learn a lot of stuff about parasites. Fun little side tangent here. When I was younger, my mom was a biology teacher, right? And I can count at least 10 different occasions where I was sitting down eating at the table with my family. We were all eating together, and my mom would turn on a show like Monster Inside of Me. And let me tell you,
That sounds like an
I
edgy
can eat-
TikTok caption.
well, it's all about parasites, and it's actually freaking disgusting. And I can pretty much eat through anything now. Like, there is not much that'll be able to keep me from eating food anymore.
Well,
Like, I sometimes have to stop myself, because whenever I'm with non-family, I talk about some really gory and crazy stuff, and they're like, hey, Zain, can you not talk about that while we're eating? I'm like, oh, sorry. My upbringing has caused me to think that this is normal.
well, you know.
I
don't
can
know if you
remember-
did that with me or not.
No, I don't think I did that on vacation. I think we brought up the story on vacation, though.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. I think we brought up the story. Maybe we didn't. I don't really think we ate a lot as a family, did we?
Not as a family, but me and you.
Yeah, you and I ate together a lot.
We
You
just sat down, all cutesy like.
Oh, cute.
I remember sleeping in the recliner. Or not the recliner, it was like a 2-seat couch
Yeah,
that
we
was
were both
slightly
sleeping on
bigger than I
couches.
was and was kind of uncomfortable.
Why'd you do
Oh
that?
yeah.
Because we were lied to on how many rooms the house had.
Oh.
And it
Yep,
had,
and
like-
then they would keep us up at night because they wouldn't go to sleep. And
'Cause they
then one
wanted
night
to
I kind
watch
of,
TV.
and then one night I just kind of got fed up with them, and I'm like, we're going to bed. And they were like, one more episode. I'm like, yeah, you're right, one more, and then you're done. And then they went to bed. It went those sleepy times. I got annoyed.
I got a ticket for running a stop sign
I think you told
on
me
a
about
golf
that.
cart.
Yeah.
It's like his stupidity never fails. It's great.
It was so funny. I'll never forget me having to drive my dad to the area and having to sit in a car that's pulled off on the side of the road in front of a police car waiting for him to finish up so that I can go home. And the funny thing was, I was sitting in the car the whole time, just like, yep, I knew this was going to happen. He wasn't supposed to be driving it anyways, but yet here we are.
Here we are.
Doesn't even have his license yet, and he's already been pulled over.
What was I doing? Did I just wait?
Yeah, I think you just waited back at the house, because I think we were going to go play Pokemon Go, but we were waiting for them to get back with the golf cart.
Yeah, that was about the only thing we could do was play Pokemon Go.
There was literally nothing to do on that island.
Zing goes, yeah, last time me and Tristen, we rode bikes and we did all this fun stuff, and then we get there and it's like 3 pools and that was about it.
Well, because we
like-
went to the wrong place. We're like, yeah, we're going to go to Hilton Head Island. Ha, joke's on you, we're actually
Island.
going to Curie Beach.
Fripp Island.
Yep, Fripp Island. Just fripping it.
That's
Uh,
that better
oh.
not be their slogan.
No, that was something
Just
my
fripping it.
family came up with while we were there.
It's funny.
One of the cool things about the island though was there were deer everywhere.
They were domestic deer too.
Oh,
Like we're talking like over the entire trip we probably saw like what 500 deer.
good night.
It was I mean, most of them were probably the same, but like you saw them a lot. They would just roam
Yeah.
around. If you were riding around on the golf cart, they would look at you, wouldn't even move a muscle. Didn't
yeah, they
care
didn't
about you.
care.
Were they the
They
ones
did
that
not care about you.
were you allowed to feed them?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
You were not.
Oh.
No, you were not.
No, you weren't.
There were
That's right.
there were
People fed him
signs
anyways,
posted.
though.
There were signs posted everywhere. Do not disturb the deer. Did I
People fed
disturb
them
the deer?
anyways.
Yes, I
Yes.
pet one of them.
That's awesome.
My goal on that trip, since there was nothing else to do,
Was
Zain,
it?
I'm like, I want to pet a deer.
And he got that. He did. We also managed to dig a really deep hole.
Was it as fragile as you imagined it to be?
Well, these ones were not like normal sized deer. Since they're domestic, they don't need
get
to
as
adapt.
big.
Yeah, they don't need to adapt to grow in the wild.
Oh, okay.
So, because they have nothing to run from. So
Except
they just-
alligators, actually.
yeah, which I doubt that happens. Maybe they're best buddies. I mean, I never saw them together, which would be a reasonable thing. But you know,
Speaking of
maybe they're best
wildlife,
buddies.
were there any like crazy bugs there?
I don't know if Nick noticed, but the entire time I was there, I was getting eaten up by mosquitoes. But we're
was
fairly
fine.
certain I have O positive blood like my dad, which mosquitoes apparently love.
Sucks to be you.
Oh,
must
yeah.
be a mosquito then.
Hold on. Hold on a second.
What?
Hold on a second. What was
I'm
that comment you just made,
concerned.
Nick?
Nothing. Those syringes were for nothing. I promise.
Speaking of bugs,
Anyway,
On an
Yep,
unrelated note about deer, there was just one time my dad's on his farm and he goes outside to look and he's like, that's either a really big dog or a really small deer. And there was a coyote out there that was about half the size of a horse.
oh,
I think that's a dire
I
wolf.
think that's a dinosaur,
That's
dude.
fun
That's a-
times.
Looked like a mastiff. It was interesting.
Saying, can you confirm?
Well, I didn't really see it, so I can't confirm. But I can confirm the size of a mastiff, and mastiff do be big
They
boys.
do be big boys.
And big girls.
I
We're not
can-
here to exclude genders.
I could surf on a mastiff, probably.
I could surf on
No,
Maybe.
their backs are very fragile. Sadly, most of
Doesn't
sadly
undo what I
most of them
said.
end up with arthritis.
They're just massive.
Relatable.
Really
Big
not, because they
boys.
just get so big that their back can't support their own weight. Like Boone has to take special medications, or else he literally can't walk. And like that's
Yeesh.
not a joke.
I know
Like, we
you-
have woke up some days where we had forgotten to give him medicine. He literally can't get up.
You've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Which,
Boone,
granted, we think his is from the time he fell down the steps trying to open the door.
Boone is his dog. by the
God,
way.
I can't believe I laughed at that, but it was like the way you described it was so funny. If you wouldn't have described it as funny, I would not have laughed. But it was just the way that you decided to go in such detail about how he failed to turn around whenever he realized he couldn't open the door. It was just, I don't know
It is-
why.
It's really sad,
He
but it's
tried
kind
to-
of funny.
He tried to 180.
Well, I guess I'll
He-
describe it. So the steps at my house are like terrible. They look awesome. Like the steps look awesome. Like they're handmade. My dad made all of the steps. They look really cool,
I think your dad just built
But-
the house.
but they're very inconvenient when you're a big dog with 4 legs. And you see, Boone has a very problem.
What do you
Boone
have,
is a very
3?
stubborn dog. Boone is a very stubborn dog, right? So he makes it to the top of the steps, and he gets his head up, and he knows how to unlock doors. Like, he knows how to open a door, so that's nothing. So
Why?
he reaches up,
How does
tries
he
to
know
open
that?
The door. We don't know. He's always known. But
Okay.
he uses
Knows all.
nose. He uses nose, and he lifts up the handle, and he pushes. And he's like, "Oh, that didn't work." So he takes the nose and he sets it on top of the handle, pulls down. 'Cause sometimes that works instead, and he pushes. And then he's like, "Oh, it's not a push door, it's a pull door."
Oh no.
And normally he could do it. He could normally open a pull door. The problem is, unlike a human, he can't bend to get out of the way of the door. So he just kind of opens it and then clunk, open, clunk, open, clunk, as he keeps opening and shutting the door. Everybody in the house at this point is asleep, okay? And my mom is being stirred awake by the noise of the door just going ka-chink, clunk, kerchink, clunk, kerchink, clunk. And she goes to see what's happening, and she can see the door being open and closed. And she's like, "Oh no, Boone's stuck." And she goes to open the door and realizes, "Oh no, Boone is stuck. He can't get down, and he can't open the door, so he's stuck." And while trying to figure out what to do, Boone realizing that somebody's on the other side of the door and can open it for him, he tries to back down a couple steps.
Uh-oh.
And at that moment, the most terrible noise you have ever heard rings out, as a mixture of barking, clunks, and the sound of what can only be described as something falling down the steps. That something being a dog. And he goes down every single one of the steps, gets to the bottom, and no longer is able to move. And at this point, my mom has yelled and everyone in the house is awake. With the exception of me, because I could sleep through a tornado that was literally inside of my own room.
Zain is kind of a heavy sleeper.
No, I'm a very heavy sleeper. I think I get it from my dad. But anyways, so everybody wakes up and everybody's like, "What in the world?" And while trying to figure out what to do, he just gets back up. And everybody's trying to keep him down because he just fell down the steps and they want to make sure he's alright. And he just crawls up the steps. Nobody's able to stop him because you guys have seen Boone. He's not a small dog. If he wants to get somewhere, yeah, you're not stopping him. And he just goes up all the steps, just goes to his mattress and falls asleep. And that was him falling down the steps. He legitimately just didn't care. He just wanted to go to sleep.
At least he was successful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
He's in chief. He is in chief? Wait a minute.
What?
Jackson, what were you going to say about bugs?
It's not important. I was gonna say how I know you're a heavy sleeper because last time I came down, we saw the Thor movie. I went over to your house and I ended up leaving super early, and your little hellspawn of a creature that you keep in your room was yelling at me the whole time I was packing up. So I was like, "You're gonna wake up, Zain."
No, I am not.
Yeah, I remember that.
I deal with that every night. I sleep through so much of that every night.
I didn't sleep very well because I had this little, like, half a foot tall, angry, yeah, just the whole night, just the whole time, like, I'm gonna lose a foot if I stay here, so I'm just gonna leave.
You should have told me. I would have just picked him up and sat him on my bed.
It was 4 a.m. I didn't want to leave, or I didn't want to wake you up, rather.
Oh, you didn't want to leave? Well, that ship sailed.
I remember one night when I was staying at Zane's house, I went to get into the the blow up mattress, and when I don't know, the blankets. I was referring to the blankets, but whatever. Anyway, Fred was on the bed, and so I was like, "Are you going to let me move you? Because I know you won't, because you're Fred." And he just looks at me like he knows what's going to happen, but like is also trying to play it cool, just like, "What? I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna do anything, obviously." And then I move closer and he starts growling at me. I'm like, "All right, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm going to move you off the bed."
Move time.
And so I just kind of pushed him off.
If you do it enough, he'll actually gain a respect for you.
It's weird though, because it's not like it's a little dog. I'm pretty sure that thing couldn't hurt me if it tried. But
no, he can.
He can.
He's bit me before.
Oh, has he? Okay.
He can hurt you if he wants.
Well, how old is he now?
He bit me before because of Charlie.
Isn't he like 64 years old in human years?
Not in human years, no.
I know he's on the older side.
In dog years, he's 91.
He's pretty old, but like,
yeah, he's a really old dog. He's about he's about
Yep.
When did you get him?
Yes or no?
He's a year younger than Kai.
Oh, okay. And Kai's like 8.
Yeah, he's almost 17.
Kai is 8.
I love to always picture Kai as an 8-year-old. I know he's
He,
not.
He
but-
basically
he is. He is.
Like, seriously, after being on vacation with him, he is.
You don't
Like-
even have to be on
Hold on.
vacation with him to
Nick.
know.
Nick, do you remember Jay?
He's matured.
Yes.
Jay has gotten bigger.
Of course he has.
He's so freaking tall now.
Excuse me, Tristan. Did you just say that Kai has matured?
I said hasn't.
Oh, hasn't.
It's
Okay.
like it's.
I
it's
thought you
crazy
said
to
that he
me.
has.
I
And
thought
was
you
about
were-
to say
I thought you were
are-
wrong for a second.
There's
I'm
a
gonna talk
12-year-old.
quietly for just a second, but this is
Oh.
the kid who. This suddenly gains popularity very quickly. I'm not really afraid to say anything right
Yeah,
now.
but the thing is, if we later gain popularity and people want to see how our first episodes were, then you've got a
Yeah.
problem.
Then
No
I'll
one
there's
pay
wa-
Asian.
Jackson.
no one watches the
I will
first
pay
episode.
Jackson to remove these
I'll-
videos if we get that famous.
I'll do it for free, man. I mean,
Nope. I feel accustomed to have to pay you.
I've already removed one.
Yeah, that's something that I've learned about Zain is that he feels the need to pay you for stuff.
What did you? He never
As hard
paid
as it
me
is to
for
believe,
going
I'm-
on that vacation with him. Laura had to deal with Kai the whole trip.
I
Not to
paid you an
mention the other two.
experience dealing with
That-
annoying people.
Yeah, but then we also went to the wrong island too. That made it like that
And,
vacation was only made by our interactions with each other in Pokemon Go and Doctor House. That was it.
That's
Freaking
funny.
Doctor House is awesome.
Agreed.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, when are we all going on
Oh.
vacation?
My vacation.
We do need to do that. That would be the most amazing experience.
We
Well,
just
maybe-
start putting. You know what? We all get jobs. Every week we drop $20 in a jar, and then we see how much we have at the end of the year.
For,
Only 20?
only 20.
Oh, is that
I
gonna be
mean,
our goal next summer? Not this summer. Next summer, we're all gonna go on a massive
I
vacation.
mean, it's December.
Yeah, this
so...
summer's already passed,
Yeah.
so yeah, it wouldn't really work.
Do
I
you mean-
assume the summer after.
I
next,
think he
but maybe
means
next.
24.
Yeah, I mean 24.
I mean, I'll be
Okay,
down.
yeah.
Charlie will be graduated.
I mean,
He
Yeah,
what? I
we
thought
could
he
do
was.
it.
I thought he was only 2 years behind me.
oh shoot, and I think, yeah, that. If
He graduates in 24.
24, my math is right.
Oh.
That'll be my graduation year.
We'll tell
Dude,
Charlie
I
it's a
mean, mine would
graduation gift.
Technically mine. Maybe I will stop after.
Where are we
2
gonna
years.
go? I guess
don't
now
know.
that's the topic. Now, where are we gonna go?
I don't know. Whatever's still around in 2024.
Yeah.
Well, do we want to go hiking or do we want to go to like the beach?
Go
Or
to, like,
what do we want?
Burger
Scenic.
Okay, I
Old
could take you
Mormon.
guys. I could, and this is very big. If I could take you guys on like a hunting hiking trip, as I think the only person here who's actually been hunting. Have any of you been hunting? I'm actually not sure.
I
I
mean,
haven't.
Oh, I've always been afraid I
not
wouldn't be.
really, but sort of.
You count fishing.
No.
What?
Okay.
No.
Actually, funny story. So, I want to tell the story. So, when I was, I don't know how old I was. I was way younger, like 7 or something. My dad took me on my first fishing
2
trip.
years ago.
Yes, 2 years ago. My dad took me on a fishing trip, and I don't even really remember where we were, but it was like some lake, and then there was like it like went off into a creek at the end of the thing, and there was like woods. But I remember he showed me how to cast a line, and it took me like 4 tries because I kept getting it in a tree. But on my 5th cast, I finally got it in the water, and the first thing I ever caught with a fishing rod in the water was a duck.
Ah,
What?
There were ducks in that pond, and one of them saw a live worm on the end of a fishing line and thought, food. So
I'm
Well,
impressed.
I guess if we're gonna talk about hunting and fishing experiences now, so the first time I ever shot a turkey, I shot it with my eyes closed on accident because I was terrified of killing something, and I legitimately closed my eyes. Which doesn't really matter when you're shooting into a flock of turkeys because it's kind of hard to miss. They're literally everywhere.
yeah.
And I shot the turkey, and I hate to say this because it makes me sound like a psychopath, but I kind of enjoyed it.
I mean, that's
I
probably
re-
why
I
people
really did enjoy it.
continue to hunt. I think no
Yeah.
one goes hunting weekly. Is like, this is so boring.
Kai, on the other hand, as big of a person as Kai likes to act, like as tough as he likes to act, Kai can't pluck the feathers off a chicken. And I mean that legitimately. Like, there was a few years back when, you guys remember I had chickens at one point. Well, when my dad slaughtered the chickens and we were preparing the chickens, one thing you gotta do is you gotta dump the chicken body in boiling water and pull off all the feathers. Kai cried while doing it. Because Kai could not fathom having to do this to a chicken. Meanwhile, I'm on the other side, just pulling whole clumps of feathers off of chickens at a time, and it's not even phasing me.
Dude,
See, I think we should just call this episode "The Bashing of Kai."
the bashing of Kai.
I mean,
The bashing of Kai.
If I could, but one thing I've learned, don't sell the merchant stuff. Kill your emotions if you're doing something. Just kill them. If they're not gonna help you, just turn off your emotions.
I do that
Sadly, I
anyways.
still feel sadness no matter what I do, but everything else can go.
Okay. I was gonna say
By
something.
happiness, you've been replaced by oppressive sadness.
Sadness.
Goodbye, anger. You've also been replaced by sadness. Everything's been replaced by sadness.
Can you imagine if you didn't feel emotions?
In all honesty, I think I'd be happier.
That'd be well. You couldn't.
Well, you
be.
wouldn't be happy
Yeah.
because you couldn't feel emotions.
What emotion is that?
So
Zain?
nothing
More
would
content.
change.
Nothing would change. Well, I don't know about that.
I mean,
You
I guess I
just-
couldn't feel sad anymore, so you know what? I think it would be a step up.
I mean, maybe. Is that the plot to Yandere Simulator?
I think it is.
I think it's canon that the main character doesn't feel emotions.
Well, I think
We
she
got
feels
certain-
love.
Okay.
Although
I
it's
think
kind
that's
of,
I think
you
that's
know-
the only emotion.
I don't
I feel like
even
it's
know
more
if
like
it's love. I think it's
lust.
more of obsession.
it's more like lust.
Yeah, that's
And lust
that's
is a
probably
sin.
likely.
I don't know
than
if that's really
an
what she
emotion.
wants out of it. I think she just literally wants the person to notice her and just have the person. I don't even know if it's lust, because lust implies something else. I think it's literally just an obsession.
Obsession. Maybe that. Yeah.
What does lust imply then?
And is it family friendly?
Well, how do you want me to present this? Do you want me to present it in the family-friendly way or the not family-friendly way?
I will
Want
cut
to
your part.
present?
Okay, so the family-friendly way. It implies sin.
Oh,
I mean, he did it.
Okay, well there you
He
go.
said it.
I gave it.
Thank you. That was very descriptive. And
So,
I think
I feel like the topics are jumping around quickly. So quick, what's the next topic? Flash round.
If you had a
breathing
suit,
is pretty
you have a-
cool.
Yeah,
Tristan.
Tristan, you nearly had something. Tristan, what is it?
Okay, you get to choose your superpower. It can be anything, but if anyone in the world finds out you have a superpower, you instantly die. What superpower?
Telepathy.
Are
I
you
now rule
choosing?
the world and nobody can figure it out.
Those are the 3 steps right there. Profit, more profit, and hidden profit.
Profit.
I can literally just block everybody from figuring it out, you know? Great. Wonderful. Absolutely amazing.
What power did you say? Telepathy?
Telepathy. It's like mind
That's
control,
ju-
but a lot more advanced.
Oh, I don't think that's what telepathy is. I thought that
no,
was
that's
just
not
mind
no,
reading.
telepathy. Yeah, telepathy is just speaking through the mind.
Is it?
Yeah.
I gotta go look up telepathy again. Give me a second.
Tristan, to answer your question, I think teleportation is a really good one.
I
feel like that won't be kind of
extremely
obvious.
careful with that.
Yeah, like if you teleported to the wrong place at the wrong time.
Oh, I mean,
Goes
obviously, yeah.
instantly dead.
But like, you can get around it. Like, no one, like, I can teleport. Like, let's say I'm going to go meet you guys or something, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I can just stay home and do whatever I need to for the amount of time it would take me to get to your place, and then just warp to your place. I mean, the
Car's
only
not gonna be there.
car's not going to be there, but I can always just say my parents stopped by or drove me or whatever. I mean,
I guarantee
Say
you're
memorable.
not.
Because
I'm
anytime
gonna be
anyone
honest with
gets
you.
close, you just
Okay, well, now that I know what telepathy actually is, I'll have to change to just the manipulation of probability.
That's such an overpowered superpower, and I think people would probably find that out. Unless, well, no,
yeah,
because you could set the thing to 0.
I was gonna say I
Yeah.
could literally just be like, oh yeah, the probability of somebody figuring this out is 0%.
I don't like that
What
answer.
makes
but
it
okay.
even better is he can just be like, you know what? I'm just lucky, man. That's all it is. I'm lucky.
I'm gonna
Well,
run
yeah,
for president. Literally gets 100% of the votes in the country.
I wouldn't want to be president.
So
Why not? I could literally just be like,
Oh my
I literally
gosh.
get to do nothing.
Have
and
fun
everything falls
crying in the
Well,
White House, my friend.
No, Jackson. He
Well, no,
controls
but- no, wait, that's
probability,
actually a great
therefore
idea.
he could pass any bill he
Yeah,
wanted.
Oh, he
yeah, 'cause
could,
he
yeah.
can. Yeah.
Actually,
And I could also have the success of the country just rise exponentially as well.
I mean, I
Guess what?
guess.
Crime rates gone. Happiness in the country up. Suicide rates
Gone.
completely gone.
He could literally become FDR. He could be like, I'm passing a bill that extends my term.
I
I
mean,
literally could just be like, I'm the ruler of the world now. Yep, ruler of the world. You got it.
yeah, but you better not become power hungry because then there's a problem.
Legitimately
I
say,
hate to
I'm
break
going
it to
to
you,
war.
but you're telling the wrong person not to become power hungry. If you've ever played a game with me, you would understand that I'm a very power hungry
I know
person.
you are a very power hungry person, and that's
Power
what's
corrupts
scaring me.
very quickly.
That's
what
what's scaring
makes
me.
this even more broken, though, is he could literally be like, we're going to war, we're not going to have a single casualty, and we're going to decimate the enemy. 0% chance of the enemy winning, he sets, 100% chance of his side winning. Nothing.
I could also just be the only person to ever win a war without any casualties, without a single soldier stepping onto the field.
Yeah, I was about to say, you could win wars without even doing anything.
Exactly. The manipulation of probability is just so broken.
Yeah. What about you,
You know,
Tristan?
there's-
Since you brought up the question, what would your superpower be?
I'd have to think about it. I kind of want to go for a pocket dimension.
Okay.
Interesting.
To what reality are we giving a pocket dimension
Yeah.
to? Like, are we talking like bag of holding, like, you reach in, you can grab anything out of it?
Oh, I
Or are we
mean,
talking
one,
like
I
you
could,
you open up a door and suddenly you're in your own reality that you
I could
create
open
and
up
design?
a door and I'm in my own reality. I could open a bathroom stall door and just disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, that won't raise any suspicion.
Well, it depends how you use it, because I could choose to use it or not to use it.
You're gonna
so I could be
question my...
extremely-
Here's a question. Here's a hypothetical to your question, Tristan. When you say,
Yes.
if anyone finds out, do you mean anyone? Like, can I not tell, like, my family or something?
Tell your family, they find out, you die.
Okay.
See, that's
And then,
the thing.
what about, like, level? What if someone's like, it's like you can teleport or something? Like, they say that jokingly. Like, do I
Oh.
still die?
It's just- no, you wouldn't die if it was a joke.
Okay.
Secondly, let's say I have an alias, like I'm Superman. Like I said, hypothetical, I'm Superman, right? In reality, I'm actually Clark Kent, but everybody knows Superman has those powers. Because they know Superman has those powers, does Clark Kent die? Or because
No.
it's an alias and nobody knows?
No, I guess since no one knows who you are, it wouldn't count. I guess they'd have to say your exact name. So imagine it. I
Okay.
guess imagine it like the Death Note in a way. They have to write your name down.
Oh,
Like, they have
alright.
to
Yeah,
know
yeah,
it
yeah.
is your name.
Alright, I like that idea. That's cool. What about, so you said pocket dimension. Is it like how big are we talking, pocket dimension?
I'm talking like 50 by 50 room. I can store anything in. I can enter it.
Okay.
Howard, you should have said Orcs' throne world.
Orcs
Orcs' throne world. Yeah, honestly, with where we are now, you can set your pocket dimension and inside Saturn and you're fine. Because who's going to find it there?
Oh, you know what? I think I just found a way around Tristan's entire plan. Just fake your own death. Become a completely different person. Because nobody knows who you were originally, you would never die even if you told somebody.
You know? That's a
You know,
thought.
with the rules I put in place, that would work.
That would work.
Would changing my name also work? Like, does it have to be the name given to me at the time? Like,
That
to
I'm
what
not sure
extent?
about. I don't
I
mean,
feel
like a
like
contract or what?
Can we get like a superpower curse Mythbusters?
Superpowers curse.
that's a thought.
Today we're gonna test and see if finding out somebody's secret identity instantly kills them.
What about you, Nick? What would your power be?
Well, my question is does anybody besides us, like besides the person, me, acquiring the power know or have powers? Or is it just like a
Imagine like a genie comes to you and says, "I'll give you any power you want, but if anyone finds out besides me, you die."
nobody else
Like,
has a power, just me?
yes.
Um
Well, I guess if anybody else had it and you found out, they die. So I guess it wouldn't really matter to begin with.
well, you still have to know what power they have. I just mean, does anybody else know of powers existing? Or am I like this totally like conspicuous person that's like, whoa, why are they able to do this? I was curious if I was going to be like able to hide my power among other powers, or if I was the only one with one.
No, I assume you'd be the only one.
In that case, I guess. Um, hmm. I was gonna say this before Zain said his because he had said one and then changed it. I was gonna say luck, just the power of luck, simply because it's just like not super like in this
It's not
reality that
obvious.
if in this reality that we live in, if nobody else has a power, me having luck is all I would really need. Like I wouldn't want to overbranch to the point where I'm gonna get myself killed because I've got this super overpowered power that I
Somebody
like to
approached
use.
somebody approached you like, "Man, you're really lucky," and then you just melt down into a pool of.
I wouldn't really say that that would be like
I know. I'm just saying
because
hypothetically. That would be absolutely hilarious.
because in the case that um like of them finding out my power, it would have to be that they understand that what I have is actually a power and not just luck. Like like in your case it would be really hard, in my case it would be really hard. You can manipulate yours, but at the same time, mine might be lucky enough that people, if they were to kill me in the sense of saying, "You're really lucky," and then that would kill me. They might use different words than "you're really lucky" every time, just based off of my luck,
Hmm.
or
And plus,
not even just
another thing
that.
about luck is it's just like, w- like, no, you can go into Vegas, win every game, and then instead of people calling you, oh, you obviously have the superpower of luck. No, it's, well, are you cheating? Like, there's so many other things they could think besides, oh, he has this
Yeah.
superpower.
Well, I
They'll
think
probably just think you're card counting and throw you out.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shoot.
This
Luck
island
is
is not loaded.
luck
for
is an interesting one though.
Hmm.
What about you, E? We haven't heard from you in a while. I'm
I'd-
kind of curious.
I'd say reaction speed. Just like really
Oh.
heightened reaction speed.
like like
Like Spider-Man.
Yeah, like
just
Spider-Man.
have
I was
it.
trying to think who is
Yeah.
the writer for Sam Raimi? Is that it? Sam Raimi Spider-Man? Is that the first one?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Now I need to change my answer because Eli reminded me of something else. Not reaction speed, but I would choose the power to think in flash time. So you know those scenes in the Flash where
Oh,
yeah,
like you mean like
slow.
in oh, what was it in Amazing Spider-Man 2 that it did that? Where he was basically just like everything was
Oh, yeah, that was the
slowed
first
down.
one. That was the first one.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That one's really cool.
Hmm. I actually
Okay.
really want to see those movies, the Amazing Spider-Man movies, because I've seen all the other Spider-Man movies, but
I have them
haven't
on
seen those
disc.
ones. Oh,
Oh, well, that'll work.
Next time you're over, we'll have to watch them. Anyways, we finished off that topic. What's the next topic?
I don't know. I didn't think we'd get this far.
breathing. What's
Breathing.
for breakfast?
That's a good one, actually. Did you get that from
That's a
my...
good
Breathing.
one.
You know what? I'm against breathing. I think breathing should be banned.
Not in every
I
state.
think it's a false concept.
Yeah, exactly.
Breathing
I think
doesn't
it's a lie
exist.
that's being told to us. I think we need to ban breathing so that we can get people to understand they're just reliant on oxygen.
That's
We need
a
to get people to
conspiracy.
overcome these addictions.
So
Cut down the
oxygen is a
forests.
drug.
Burn down the forest.
How about post-apocalyptic situations? What would you guys do?
Ooh. Okay. First off, what kind of post-apocalypse? Because that's gonna heavily influence what I do.
I think zombie is one of the most popular ones. That and nuclear fallout. Let's do nuclear fallout because that seems more likely.
Okay, nuclear fallout. In the area that I'm currently in right now, I'm not really likely to get nuked. The biggest thing close by to me, I suppose, is the military armory, which is just far enough away that I would only be hit with a shockwave that would break my windows. Not flatten my house, and radiation would be very minimal. The big thing I would have to look out for is ash rain that would happen after the fallout. I would probably be able to get far enough away in a car in this period of time, so I think I could probably get far enough away to survive. Because other than that in Fort Knox, there's not really a lot of targets around me that would be hit. So getting far enough away into an area that would be safe from radiation would be easy, and I just kind of gotta wait it out.
Imagine being that paranoid that you have done the math to know that the shockwave will only break your windows.
Okay, look, this actually wasn't done by me. This wasn't done by me. This was my dad who's done this, actually.
Oh, okay.
And this was done because we were watching, what's the YouTube channel? It's got the really long and complicated name, starts with a K.
Oh, I know what you're
okay.
talking about. I know what you're talking about. It's like some
Yeah.
weird,
Yeah.
like German name.
I don't
Yeah,
think I know
that
it.
we were watching their nuke one about what would happen if a nuke was to be launched and it was to hit. And we were like, oh, hey, that's that many miles away. Oh, that's not as far as we thought it would be. Hold on, let's see, Fort Knox. Fort Knox is way too far away for us to get hit. That's fine. Oh, but what about the armory in the town nearby? I keep nearly doxing myself. What about the armory nearby?
I mean, hey, technically Fort Knox is just somewhere on the map. You could be in four
Doxing
states
yourself
over.
any percent speed run.
The armory is like 6 miles away from us, which puts us just barely outside of getting hit by the nuke. So yeah, no, we did all the math. We would be pretty safe in our general location.
I mean, that's
The big thing we have to worry about is if we were outside getting flashed, because it would. If we're still in the area where if we're looking in its direction, we would get instantly blinded.
swag.
So, yeah.
That's my favorite. I love being instantly blinded by bombs.
There's also the fact that we would have like 3rd-degree sunburn, but I mean, as long as we're inside, the big thing is the force would probably shatter the windows and anything that's not nailed down would be blown over. So we'd have to flip over a car in order to get on the move again. Our car would also not have any windows anymore.
Well, what would you really need windows for at that point?
Exactly.
Just put
And
sun
like I
doors.
said, the
Herb.
big thing
Blowing the breeze.
the big thing is going to be ash rain, which is when all of the evaporated water that's just been instantly evaporated and goes up into the air because all of this smoke is now pulling into the middle and rising up in that mushroom cloud, and all of that is eventually going to rain down on top of you in radioactive ash, which is really the worst part of Fallout. Because that's
Yeah.
the point where you can't get anybody in to save you because of the constant radiation coming down from the sky.
Just use an umbrella, you'll be fine.
Just use an umbrella. It also depends on what area they nuke and how big it is, because there's certain bums where if you nuke Ukraine, the whole world is screwed
Mm-hmm.
because of wind currents.
It's
Wind
just
currents?
well that, yeah. It's just kind of weird how self-destructive humanity is.
I mean, kind of, but also not really.
For being
I mean,
called
any animal species that doesn't have a natural predator would kind of end up doing the same thing, except slower and less explosive.
we put too much thought into a lot of random things for being called the Words of Wisdom podcast. Well,
Maybe we should change to over-explained random thoughts.
no,
There's
I
one
like
thing
Words
you
of
can
Wisdom.
always bet on humanity to do: find better ways to kill each other.
Yeah, I feel like we're still primitive in that
You say
sense.
that, but you can also guarantee that we'll find better ways to heal each other after having tried to kill each other.
yeah, when
This
it's
is also
too,
true.
when
Yeah,
there's
we'll
15
find-
people left on Earth and someone discovers the miracle heal all drug, I'm sure that'll be.
And even then, we'll find out how, but we'll never use it
We won't use it.
on
Exactly.
everyone else other than us.
Yeah.
like
Oh,
ourselves.
so
Or
you
the
guys remember-
elitism class.
you guys remember me talking about the heist show, right? The one I wanted to make.
Oh, yeah.
So I
the
had
Two-Face
planned-
guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I had planned for the ending of it already, right?
Right.
and the
it was
way that I wanted to
one
end is
side
I think
dies.
No. It has
No?
changed a bit. So basically, the idea, right,
Oh.
is that the 3 series I want to make are all interconnected in their history. So you've got the one that's in the past, that's like the fantasy adventure, the 4 gods, and all that one. Which they're
Right.
not actually gods. You find out later they're not gods. They're just humans who inhabited powerful lord souls. Whatever. You get the gist.
Spoilers for
But-
those who watch that.
Souls.
Look, these are long in the making. Okay.
Spoilers
These
for
will-
those who watch those.
Anyways,
Using Lord
so
Souls to defeat dragons or something? What's going on?
no, I'm just saying Lord Souls because Dark Souls reference.
I know.
Obviously,
that's why I'm asking.
no relation. Obviously, no relation.
Clearly
but-
not.
He's
The
never
idea
played
is
Dark
right.
Souls
The
himself.
Mask, which is the guy from the heist show, is an adventurer from way in the past who is trying to better or what is the word? What is the word for redemption? It's
Redeem.
Redeem.
that's the one. He's trying to redeem his previous actions, so he's wearing a mask that is permanently bound to him until all of the greed of the world is gone. But that's an impossible task. So at the end of the heist show, what he does, he's just like, yeah, this has been a plan for a really long time, but all of the nuclear systems in the world are connected to this one button, which, yeah, I can already hear you guys yelling, that's impossible, but guess what? I've been alive long enough to be doing this from the start.
Huh.
And he basically nukes the entire world because the logic is that in the few moments remaining once the nukes have been launched to when they land, all greed in the world will be gone because everyone will realize that it's the end. So there won't be a single greedy soul left for the time that's remaining.
It sounds like a D&D
Giving him just-
campaign.
Yeah, giving him just enough time to die.
I feel like he would die if everybody else was dead anyways, so it wouldn't really matter.
Exactly. This is a guy who's been alive for so long that his only goal in life is to literally die.
No, I
Whether
mean,
or not everyone
you
goes
said
with
in the
him.
moment. You said in the moments before. I mean, it would be in the moments after as well, because there would be quite literally no one.
You see, the next point is some people do survive because that's going to lead into the third show I wanted to do, which was the post-apocalyptic one that had.
Oh, the guy's going
what was
off
his name?
planet?
Oh, that's wrong.
Is this the one where the guy goes like to a different planet?
I pray
No.
somebody steals
No.
your idea.
This is the Two-Face guy you were talking about.
Someone
Switch
steals
Oh,
was his
Switch.
name.
Okay.
The guy with
Switch,
two
that was
faces.
it.
The guy with 2 faces. One loves melee. One loves guns.
Yeah, and then one of them dies.
Literally built the character to die.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that was the whole plan for that, was to have all 3 of them run together in that similar fashion.
Okay. How interesting that you go from 4 mortal beings, like, taking over the roles of gods, to just some guy with 2 faces just shooting
Well,
people.
I feel like I've got to add things together to this now. So basically, the rule of magic, what's happened with magic is that the whole of the human population all has magic, right? The difference is
Okay.
that the magic level in everybody remains equal, but you can claim somebody else's magic by killing them. So the people who are really good at magic in the past, in the adventurers' time, are adventurers who have gone out and they kill people for a living. They kill mercenaries, they kill enemy, that kind of people. So they're really good at magic because they have gained that magic through death. But then you get to the future area and you find out that magic is not an instant that grows with each person born. It spreads out with each person born. So now there's 8 billion people on the planet. Magic is stretched so thin that nobody has magic anymore.
Okay.
So that's the idea there. So then you get to this post-apocalyptic era where a whole bunch of people have died. Now suddenly magic's returning, which only added to the mass hysteria, killing thousands as people suddenly regained magic. Because imagine now your hands are shooting fire and you go for your best friend for help and all you do is set him on fire.
Huh. Interesting.
I promise you, these are the worlds that my ADHD brain gets stuck in while I'm supposed to be doing something important.
You combined like 5 different genres into a 3-part series.
Exactly.
Right.
Welcome to the inner machinations of my mind.
Batman meets Harry Potter meets
Fallout.
Fallout, yeah. It's like
Meets Elder Scrolls.
meets Elder Scrolls, yeah. Interesting. And yet, the last guy in the series uses guns and swords and baseball bats with nails in them.
Mm-hmm.
That's hilarious.
I need to start drawing concept art for it so I can pitch it to somebody and sell it so I can actually watch the show grow.
Nico,
This is the
kneecaps.
question.
I don't know, I think it'd be a good show.
Remember when this was going to be
Maybe I
a
should
tier
start a
list?
GoFundMe.
Maybe I should start a GoFundMe.
I thought you guys already
GoFundMe.
did the tier list.
No.
I thought that was episode 2.
No.
No.
No,
Aw.
I was gonna mention that earlier, but
I thought that's what we were doing. I just didn't want to say anything.
We'll have to do one at some point. Alright, well,
Okay.
I think it's about time to start wrapping up. Thank you boys for joining me. Do you guys have any final closing words?
Send me money for the show I'm gonna make.
I love women.
I also love women.
Are you sure about that?
What about you, Tristen?
Do you love
Tristan,
women?
do you
Tristan?
also love women?
I do, but those weren't the words I was gonna say.
I'm also a big
Reality is
fan
an
of...
illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold, buy.
I'm also a big fan of the female species. Apparently Zain and Tristen are not. Anyways,
we are
thank you
good.
all for
Compliments
stopping
me.
by, and we will see you all on the next episode of Words of Wisdom. Bye, y'all.
Oh, yeah,